Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, the next project, it's gonna have to be brakes, and brakes is something that I'm not really fond of working on, but we're gonna install or change the front brakes on my 2014 Nissan Frontier. So let's get this done. All right, guys, I got the all the lug nuts off of the tire, and those are 21 millimeter. And so let's pull this tire off and inspect these brakes. Now this is the driver's side that I'm doing, so let's set you over here, get you adjusted. Okay, let's pull this tire off here, guys, and take a look at what we got. Woo, boy, look at that. Look at that, guys. They're not looking too good, are they? You can see all this rust. I guess that's probably from, you know, this truck had sat a lot for a few years during like the pandemic. And anyway, doesn't look good, does it? Look at the pads. So next step, guys, is dig in, and I got to get this caliper off, and let's just see how bad it is. I've got brand new rotors and new pads, so I just went ahead. I figured, you know, these would probably need to be turned, and they do. So I'm glad I went ahead and bought rotors. So let's get started. Okay, guys. This top and bottom bolt right here has got to come off first, and those are 14 millimeter. I'm going to try with this socket. I don't know if I'll get enough leverage, or this ratchet. And then I got my rubber mallet, so hopefully I get this thing to loosen up. I hope. Oh yeah, she loosened up. So now let's get the bottom one. Also, guys, I sprayed these with PB Blaster to hopefully help loosen it up. So we're going to get these out. And so we got that. I'm going to put these bolts in a safe place. Let me go get a screwdriver, guys, and then we'll pry off this caliper. Also, I turned the wheel before I got started. I turned the wheel over. That way I could, you know, have the ability to work on them. So we're going to start at the top here. We're just going to pry this caliper off. It should come off pretty easily. Now this is a pretty heavy piece, so we need to get this thing hung up somewhere out of the way, or lay it right there. Probably be fine. Yeah, it ain't gonna go nowhere right there. Okay, so then it looks like you got to take this little pin out and save them in case you need some. It comes, the hardware comes, there's 2 of these I think that comes with the new pads. So anyway, we got that off. So now it's just a matter of getting the pads off, and boy, look at that. They are just barely hanging on, man. Barely hanging on. That's 60,000 miles. All right, guys, let's slide this first pad off of here. Take a gander at the goods. Oh yeah, she looked pretty rough. Look at that. Not much pad left. Huh. All right, let's slide this other one off. Wow, man. Come out of there, dude. Come on now. Look at that. Wow. Now that one is pretty worn too. So then you just pull your clips out. And then the new pads come with new clips, so, but save them, you just never know. Okay guys, now we got to pull this bolt and this bolt out, and this might be a little challenging, but that's what holds the caliper bracket on the rotor. So we gotta get that pulled off next. So let me get my breaker bar maybe, and I don't know, I'll have to figure it out. You know, it's gonna be a trial and error thing, but the good news is these all look good. Like those rubber seals look good. Everything looks pretty good there. So I'm happy about that. I don't know if a breaker bar will fit in here. I may have to turn the wheels some more. You know, that's an option. Let's do that. Yeah, that didn't really turn more, did it? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, it did a little bit. Wow, she's on there, boy. There it went. That's the ticket, the old breaker bar. It gets the job done every time. Well, not every time. Now I got to figure out how the heck I'm going to be able to do this with that caliper in my way. Okay. It's on there, so. There we go. Thank you, Jesus. All right. So got the bottom one loosened up. Top one's loose, so I should be able to get it the rest of the way by hand. Voila! Okay, so that's done. I'm just going to put the bolts back in the bracket so they don't get lost. And set it up out of my way because I'm going to pull off this rotor. So I guess, oh yeah, she's going to come right off her. There we go. She disassembled, guys, ready for new parts. Okay guys, first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to clean this up with some brake cleaner, and just I'm going to spray it down first and then wire brush it just to get all that rust off of there and all that crazy stuff. You just want to make sure this surface is clean so that when the new rotor goes on here, there's no obstructions and the rotor's not on there all oblong. So it's pretty clean actually. But yeah, I'll just take a little brush to it. It gets all, see all that dirt it just got off of there? So it gets all that stuff cleaned off and good to go. You don't want any kind of obstruction, so looks good. I'm gonna spray it off one more time and we'll be ready. Yeah, it looks good. Okay guys, the new rotor I bought is from O'Reilly's Brake Best Select Premium, and it's part number 980370RGS. And so let's open this dude up. And we're going to, first thing we're going to do is we're going to spray this thing down. So apparently they put a residue on these rotors to prevent them during shipment and storage from rusting. So they put some kind of, they spray some kind of residue on it, and so you have to spray it down with brake clean and get all of that off before you install. So let's get ready to do that. All right, let's spray this guy down and make sure she's cleaned off. And then of course we'll have to let it dry. So this stuff dries pretty quick, so we'll just lean it up against here and let it dry. And we'll be with you here in a second. All right guys, I believe she's dry. So we're gonna get the rotor put on here. Well, she looks nice, doesn't she? That's gonna make a big difference. All right, so now we can go ahead and get the bracket put back on for the caliper, and that's going to be the next deal. Hey guys, real quick before we go any further, I want to thank all my subscribers out there. I really appreciate you, and if you like this content, if you're not a subscriber, you know, please subscribe. Please like the video. It really helps out the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. And anyway, we're going to get back at it here and hopefully have this knocked out. I decided I'm going to just do this side today because I got to rejack the truck up to do the other side anyway, and it's looking like we might get some rain, so I just don't want to get on that side and then a torrential downpour comes down. That wouldn't be cool. So anyway, let's get back at it. All right, now that we've got the rotor back on, I'm going to go ahead and get this bracket put back on for the caliper. And so I added some grease inside here where the hole is, and that way the bolts will slide in there easier. So I went ahead and did that, and I guess we'll get started on getting this bracket put back on. So it should go like that, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Let me go get the breaker bar and we'll tighten them down and we'll be done with that part. Okay, guys. So the next step we've got to take, I took an old brake pad and I got this brake separator tool, and we got to make sure that these cylinders are pushed all the way in so that we'll have room for the new pads. So let's go ahead and start doing this. I probably should already had it kind of in place where it needed to be, but getting ahead of myself, I guess. You know how that goes. All right, so you should start to tighten up now. Let's see here. Get over as far as I can. All right, so we're just going to apply pressure on these cylinders, and that'll hopefully push them in. And you just do a little at a time. I like to go a little bit like that. You could feel it moving in, then go to the other side and try to help that side along. And then when it gets snug, then you just go back over the other side, and you just keep doing this repeatedly until you finally get them compressed in, you know. I think that'll do it, guys. She's all the way in. So now we put the pads on. I'm gonna clean this caliper up first, so let me do that and I'll be back in here in a second. Alright, I just wanted to show you real quick. This is that brake pad spreader that I was talking about. You can get it at O'Reilly. But here is the brake pads I'm using. And they're Brake Best Select Premium as well. The part number, let's see if I can find it. I don't know if I got it here. Here it is. It's SC 1094, and they're ceramic brake pads. So that's what I went with. So let me tear into this, and then I'll compare the new one to the old ones. Alright guys, I put one of the clips in. That's the new clip, and they just go in like so. You just let me get the camera on it, actually, so you can see what the heck's going on here, right? So anyway, they just go on like so. Well, actually, duh, they go on like this. I had them upside down. So you just clip the front and then you come back here with your finger and it'll snap in. So just like that. So those are in. Now here's the new pads. And check this out. So that's the new pad, right? Here's one of the old ones. Look at the difference, guys. Look at that. That's amazing. So we're going to install these in the clips. And so I'm going to do that next. Okay, guys, we're going to put these brake pads on. The first thing you got to do, though, get a little bit of grease. You don't need a whole lot, just enough to coat the ends of the brake pads right here. And that just helps prevent, you know, it's the contact points, you know, helps prevent squeaking and all that. But you don't want to get any of the grease anywhere else on the pad, just on the ends like that. So we're going to do that real fast, and then we're going to slip these pads in place. So that should be plenty. So we'll go ahead and slip that one in here on the back side. So that one's on. And then do the same thing on this one. Just going to coat the end, the contact points, like so. Just like that. Okay. So we're going to slip them in there. There we go. Okay, so the pads are on. Now we want to take some grease on the outside of the pads right here on the plate. And that just gives a little bit of lubrication there once you put the caliper back on. That's another contact point, so you just want to coat that with some grease. Okay, we're on the downhill swing on this deal, guys. I'll be glad to get this done. It's been needed to be done in a while. I plan on putting new tires on after this, and then I'm going to do the back brakes too. So anyway, you see what I did there? I just coated the back side there like that. So anyway, just wanted to show you that. So now we're ready for the caliper. So no, I got to put the clips in. My bad. Let me get this grease off my fingers and then I'll be back. Okay guys, you got to put these clips in. And I already got the one here in the top. But you'll see these little holes at the bottom and at the top of the brake pads. You just take that clip and you put it in those holes. And basically what that does is it keeps the brake pads separated from the rotor. So we got those on. Now originally when I took it off, it only has 2 clips. So whenever you get the parts, they give you another clip, so that's pretty cool. So now we're ready to put the caliper back on, and we'll just slip that dude back on there like so. Okay, now let me go get the bolts and start with the top one first, and then it'll slide right in place. Those pins, not only do those pins that are in there, not only do they keep the brake pad separated from the rotor, but they also keep the caliper from coming down onto the rotor and the pads. So let me get this threaded. It looks like something weird going on here. Oh, that's what's going on. There we go. All right, so I get the bottom one in now. All right, let's get the socket, wrench, and ratchet, and we're ready to go. So we're going to tighten these bolts back up. It's not too bad of a job, guys. It's not too bad. It's just, you know, you got to take your time and make sure everything's right. Okay, guys, she's back together. So I am going to probably go ahead and, this is the bleeder valve for the brake fluid. I may get a jug, and I'll probably do this tomorrow, but I'm going to go ahead and run some fluid through this caliper now. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'll be able to see how dirty the fluid is. If the fluid's dirty, eventually I'm going to replenish the entire system. So, anyway. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'm going to call it quits for today and then do the other side tomorrow. So, there we go. All right, guys, well, it's the next day, and man, you talk about a beautiful day. Couldn't ask for a better day. So I'm gonna get this brake job done. I'm not gonna film me doing the passenger side because it's basically the same thing. There is one thing though that is a little different, and I'll show you that when I get to it. So I'm going to go ahead and tear into this thing, and then I'll talk to you here in a minute. All right, guys, so here's the one thing that is different about the passenger side, and it regards the brake pads. You'll get one brake pad that has the this little piece of metal on there, or bracket, and that evidently that's for to indicate, it's used to let you know when the pads are going bad. Evidently a grinding noise will start. So they put this on one of the pads. So it kind of gives the owner a heads up, hey, you need to change your brakes. So anyway, that's what that is. And then over here, I've got, I'm starting to compress these pistons, but you'll probably run into an issue once you get to the other side on the front where, you know, you're trying to put pressure on these pistons to collapse them. But what you're actually doing is you're pushing fluid back up in the system. And what happens is that reservoir, if you have too much fluid in here, it's gonna fill up the reservoir. So I had to extract some fluid out, and so we're gonna try to push those pistons the rest of the way. So that's where we're at right now. I just used a turkey baster and sucked it out of there. So anyway, that's where we're at. So I'll talk at you once I get everything else done. All right, guys, I got the passenger side done, so check it out. So they turned out pretty good. Goes a lot smoother after you've done one, you know. Second time around, it's a lot easier, but there she is. And I looked up here in the reservoir, and it looks like we're right on the max mark. You couldn't have done that any more perfect. So I'm really happy with that. So I'm gonna get the tire put on the passenger side, and we're gonna take this thing for a test drive. I gotta go to the post office, so let's go do that. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to go to the post office. I got to take a package down there to ship. So we're going to try these brakes out and see how they do. It's a major upgrade, so I'm sure that they should be good. So this ought to be interesting. Get the seatbelt on. All right, boy, it's hot. Tell you what, guys, I'll turn the AC on so that the wind from the window won't get in the audio. Okay, so we're ready, I guess. So here we go. I'm gonna pump the brakes a few times and make sure and get everything pressurized. Oh yeah. Wow. Huge difference, man. That's amazing. Wow. All right, well, she's pumped up, pressurized, so we're ready to go. I'll have to be careful backing out of here. There's a boat on each side of me. So, oh yeah, I forgot. Hold on. I forgot to get those blocks. I had chalked the wheels. Get that air going. Burning up. Alright, here we go. Let's try this again. Alright, ooh, that air feels good. Alright, here we go, guys. This thing backed out of here safely. but yeah, already the brakes feel way better. I was never really crazy about, I was never really crazy about the brakes before. They just weren't that great. So we'll see how they do on the way to the post office. All right, here's the first stop sign. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me, man. Talk about a difference. Wow. Success, guys. She feels good. But anyway, I'm heading to the post office. I'm gonna ship off an item. That reminds me, guys, check out my eBay store. I'm a reseller, so I find a lot of stuff that people don't like or want, and I turn around and flip it. So I try to find cool stuff, so go check it out. Maybe you'll find something you like. I've also got some Hook Set Hawk merch out there for the fishing channel. And so I hope you liked the video. Click like, subscribe, and until the next project, go do something. I mean, come on. Oh man, it's a nice day out. I probably should take a cruise.